We'll start in a comfortable seated kneeling position, Japanese style, in the middle of the mat. Place your hands one on top of the other over the heart space, closing down the eyes and connecting to that internal flow. Take a nice big shoulder roll, creating space there between the shoulders and the ears. Feel your tailbone ground down as you rise through the spine, growing a little taller. And now making a connection with the breath. Breathing in and out of the nostrils, in and out of the nose. Allowing that breath, that prana, that life force to really fill you up and energize you. Feel it warming through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs all the way to the pit of the belly. And then exhale all that energy back out. Using your breath as an anchor to hold you here within the present moment. So much of our time is spent in the head. So right now, seeing if you can let go of everything that happened before class. Forget about everything you have going on afterwards. And simply just be right here within your mat space, within the present moment. And it's inevitable, at some point throughout class, your mind will start to wander. So just becoming aware of the thoughts, and then gently, compassionately, coming back to the breath, coming back into the body. We'll take a big inhale through the nose, and out the mouth. Let it go. One more like that. Big, long, slow inhale. And open the mouth, exhale. Let it go. Flutter open the eyes, and we'll go for some side bends. So right hand comes to the ground next to you, and that left hand comes up and over, palm face down, feeling into the left side body, and breathing into that left lung. We'll take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, left hand circles down and out in front of you, bringing it over to the left side. The right arm follows and reaches up and out, opening up the right side body, the right side chest. We'll take an inhale, reaching here, and exhale, circle it over to the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, through center. Inhale as you open up, and exhale, flowing like water. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, circle it through. Last one. Inhale, right arm reaches. And exhale, lower, stopping through the center and finding a child's pose. So the hips are at the heels, the big toes are together, the knees are spread wide. You're energizing out through the fingertips as you pull the hips back. So stretching through the spine, nice long spine here. We'll take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it go. Knowing you can find this pose at any time throughout practice. Child's pose is like a safety net. It's always here to catch you if you need to fall. From here, make your way into a tabletop all-fours position with the option to rotate the palms back so the fingertips are facing the body. And we'll go for some reverse cat-cows, stretching out the wrists. So on an inhale, drop the belly, chin, chest, and tailbone lift. Exhale, curl and round the spine, looking up at your navel. Continue moving with your breath. Moving at a pace that feels nice and comfortable. Creating some space and some depth within the spine. One breath, one movement. We'll take one last inhale, opening up. And exhale, curling it in. Coming back through neutral, flip the hands around towards the front, and from here we'll step back to a plank, an upper push-up position. So you're energizing out through the heels and out through the crown of the head. The shoulders roll down and in. There's always the option to drop the knees to the floor if you need to. We'll take an inhale plank. And again, option to drop the knees, or you can shift forward over the wrists as you slowly lower Chaturanga Dandasana all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, shoulders roll down the back as you lift through the chest, baby cobra, heart shines forward. And exhale, release. We'll elongate through some more cobras with the option to bring the hands out, coming up onto the fingertips. The elbows are up for an intimidation cobra. Inhale, chest lifts, head coming up last. Exhale, lower. Elbows stay up. Inhale, rise, moving with your breath. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slow, fluid movements up. And exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Bring the hands back in near the body. And on an inhale, rise to cobra or option for an up dog. So straightening through the arms, the belly and thighs are off the mat, the heart still shines forward. And on the exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Your first down dog of the practice, feel free to pedal out the feet here. Shifting the weight from side to side. Taking your dog on a little walk. Just feeling into the body and doing whatever movements feel nice. And we'll find some stillness. The fingers spread wide, pressing into the hands so you're not collapsing into the shoulders. The hips traction upward, maybe a bend in the knees here if you need to. And on an inhale, press everything back, hips to the sky. And exhale, slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders roll down the back, energizing out through the crown of the head. And exhale, release. One more like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arm circle, root to rise, maybe looking up if the neck allows. And exhale, hands in prayer in front of the chest. Closing down the eyes, just taking a moment here. Gentle press of the thumbs into the sternum. On an inhale, arm circle, maybe a small back bend if it's there for you. And exhale, surrender back down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back through plank and slowly lowering Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra, up dog, you choose. And exhale, pressing it back, downward facing dog. Taking a moment in your down dog, the shoulders roll down and in. You're pressing evenly into all four corners of the hands, every knuckle pressing into the mat. The hips arc up towards the sky, and the heels energize down towards the back of the mat. On an inhale, press everything back. And exhale, walk or hop light, top edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms circle, root to rise. Exhale, hands in prayer in front of the chest. Inhale, arms circle, maybe a small back bend. Exhale, surrendering back down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, stepping back and moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, your back bend variation. Exhale, downward facing. We'll keep moving. Inhale, press everything back. Exhale, travel light, top edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Arm circle, root to rise. Hands in prayer in front of the chest. Inhale, arm circle, maybe a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, vinyasa, knowing you can skip these at any time. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing. Take a big inhale through the nose. And out the mouth, letting it go. On an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, roll the shoulders over the wrists as you start to bring the knee in towards the nose. So you use the abdominal wall and you step that foot through towards the right thumb, coming into a runner's lunge. Next inhale, the arms sweep out and up as we rise into a crescent lunge. And sense how the tailbone lengthens, the front of the hips lift. It's almost like you're doing a crunch. You may need to put a bend into that back knee here, so the abdominal wall is engaged and the low back is safe, only straightening through that back leg if it feels right for you. Lift up through the fingertips, feel that upward flow of energy, and then hands in prayer in front of the chest. Taking a moment here, just feeling into the pose, feeling into your alignment. Go ahead and start to lean forward on an inhale, and then take flight on the exhale. So you're rooting down strongly through that standing leg. And chances are you might fall, but that's all right. If you fall, just coming right back into it. Fall with consciousness, fall forwards so that you learn from it. From here, inhale, rise through standing. That left knee comes into the chest, arms are at the ears, coming into stork pose. So the belly is engaged. And from here, we'll step that left foot out and back, coming into warrior two pose. Taking a moment in warrior two to find your alignment. The front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. The front toes point directly ahead and the knee is in line just above the ankle. The arms spread wide in opposite directions, almost as if your arms are getting stretched apart. Seeing if you can descend a little further into that front thigh. Next inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. And on the exhale, windmill the arms, frame the front foot, pausing here in a runner's lunge. Go ahead and step that right foot back to meet the left, coming into a plank, upper push-up. Bring the feet together and swivel onto the blade edge of that right foot. The weight is in the right arm as that left wing peels open towards the sky. Option to stay here in side plank, or option to bring the left toes high into the right thigh, coming into fallen tree. That top hand can come up and over. Staying where you are, or option to drop the left foot back behind you and then opening up, finding Wild Thing. Reaching with the left arm, opening up the chest, lungs, and shoulders. And then slowly releasing, coming out of it, and we'll meet back into a plank. We'll take a goodbye, inhale plank, and exhale lowering, Chaturanga Dandasana with control. Inhale Cobra, up dog, and exhale downward facing. Take a big inhale through the nose, and out the mouth. Let it go. Next inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee towards the nose, activating the core, which brings that left foot forward between the hands into a runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent, upward sweep with the arms. And then just taking a moment here to feel into whatever it is that you're feeling. Feel the inner thighs squeeze towards one another as you shift that right hip forward, the left hip back, so two hips are in one line. Descend into that front left thigh, seeing if you can get the thigh parallel to the mat. On an inhale, the arms reach. And then exhale, hands in prayer in front of the chest. Go ahead and tilt forward on the inhale and take flight on the exhale. And we're breathing. We never forget about our breath. Because when we stop breathing, we start resisting. What we resist persists, and what we embrace, we move through with grace. The back foot is flexed, and all 5 toes are pointing towards the mat. Next inhale, we'll rise to stork. Right knee into the chest, the arms are at the ears. We'll take an inhale in stork. And on the exhale, that right leg comes out and back, opening up and finding warrior two. Taking a moment here in your warrior two, maybe looking back towards that right arm and making sure it's in line with the left. Sometimes it's not where we think it is. And just finding your strength here. This is your warrior. You want to be able to fight here. Next inhale, flip that front palm, reverse the warrior. And exhale, hands to the mat, runner's lunge, pausing here. Step the left foot back to meet the right, coming into plank. Bring the feet together, swivel onto the blade edge of the left foot. The right wing peels open, pushing the hips up towards the sky. Option to stay here, or option to bring the right toes into the left thigh for fallen tree. The top hand can come up and over. Staying where you are or dropping the right foot back behind you with the option for Wild Thing. We'll take an inhale in Wild Thing as you reach, and then exhale, releasing, hand and foot back down to the mat. We'll take a goodbye inhale plank, and exhale, slowly lowering Chaturanga Dandasana all the way to the mat. Inhale, Cobra Up Dog, heart shines forward, and exhale, pressing it back, downward facing. Take a huge inhale through the nose, and out the mouth, let it go. Just taking a moment here in your down dog as we set up to do that flow once through on each side. Slow, fluid movements, almost as if you're moving through water. So on an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. Rise to crescent on the inhale. Hands to prayer in front of the chest, exhale. Lean forward, inhale. Take flight, exhale. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Next inhale, rise to stork. And exhale, opening up, finding warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. And exhale, windmill the arms to the mat. Pausing here, runner's lunge. Step that foot back, coming into plank. Swivel onto the blade edge of that right foot. The left wing peels open towards the sky. Staying in plank, or option for fallen tree. Last option, that left foot comes behind you as you open up, finding Wild Thing. We'll take an inhale in Wild Thing. And exhale, reversing what you just did, meeting back in plank. Inhale, goodbye plank. Exhale, Chaturanga with control. Inhale, Cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it between the hands. Rise to crescent on the inhale. Hands in prayer in front of the chest. Lean forward, inhale. Take flight on the exhale. One breath here, inhale. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, rise to stork. Exhale, opening up, warrior two. Flip that front palm, reverse the warrior. And windmill the arms, frame the front foot, runner's lunge, pausing here. Step the foot back, coming into plank. Swivel onto the blade edge of that left foot. The right wing peels open towards the sky. Option to stay here. Option to bring the right toes high into the left thigh for fallen tree. That top hand can come up and out. And last option, step that right foot behind you and opening up for Wild Thing. We'll take an inhale, Wild Thing. And exhale, slowly reversing what you just did, meeting back in plank. Inhale, goodbye plank. And exhale, slowly lowering, not collapsing, with control. Inhale, shoulders roll down the back, chest shines forward, your back bend variation. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a huge inhale through the nose and out the mouth. Let it go. From here, go ahead and drop the knees down to the mat. Come down onto the forearms and slide the knees back behind you, coming into Sphinx pose. So the forearms are parallel to each other. The elbows slide in, line with the shoulders. The shoulders roll down and in so the heart shines forward. The middle fingers are pointing directly ahead, and there's a gentle press of the lower belly down into the ground. Just slowing down here, taking some long, deep, slow inhales and long, deep, slow exhales. And we'll be holding this pose for a little while. So the goal is to get comfortable. So if the head ever starts to feel heavy, you can support the weight of the skull by bringing the hands together in prayer, balancing on the elbows, and then just resting your forehead down into the hands. Maybe closing down the eyes here. So much of our days are spent hunched over. We're hunched over when we're eating, when we're driving, when we're working at a desk or a computer, when we're looking at our cell phones. So counteractive back bends like this one are so important. Right now, just working into and releasing the buildup of tissues that surround the spine. Just ensuring our spine stays nice and healthy and well hydrated. Now, staying where you are, option to come into seal pose. So taking the hands out a little wider, turn the fingertips outward and pressing down into the hands, starting to work the arms towards straight. And for some people, this pose is too much. So if it's too much, just stay in Sphinx pose. Yoga is a natural medicine for the body and for the mind. It's about healing and longevity. So just remembering that we never want to compare ourselves to others or push ourselves beyond our edge. Just a gentle lean to it. We want to approach every pose from a place of compassion. Just a couple more breaths here. And releasing, slowly lowering yourself all the way down onto the mat. Press into the hands, hips to the heels for a transitional child's pose. And just feeling into the echo of what you just did. This stuff goes deep, and sometimes you can even feel it deep within the bones. Just knowing that that's normal. Maybe giving yourself some movements here within your child's pose, rocking from side to side, just shifting some of that energy, some of that tension around. From here, make your way into a tabletop all fours position. Walk the knees up towards the hands, cross the feet behind you, coming down into a seated position with the legs extended straight out in front of you. Pick up the left leg and place it over the right so the two knees are stacked right on top of one another. The left heel is in line near the right sit bone for a half shoelace. On an inhale, sit up straight, nice flat back. And on the exhale, slowly crawl the hands forward to your own degree. Feeling the tremendous stretch down the entire backside of the leg. Just taking a moment here. This is the yin to complement the yang. And there are 3 stages to a yin pose. The first stage is to find your edge. Find that stretch. And just like with everything, you never want to overdo it. So just a gentle lean into it. And the second stage is to find stillness. If you have to make a few adjustments here and there, that's no big deal, but we really want to avoid being fidgety here. And the third phase to a yin pose is just time. 2 to 4 minutes. And the benefit of this is that it puts positive pressure on the connective tissues, which is the largest tissue structure within the body. It connects everything from the surface of your skin to really the nucleus of every single cell in the body. And the only way that we can take care of these connective tissues and what we call the fascial matrix is through these long, deep stretches. The longer you hold, the deeper you go. The deeper you go, the more that you heal. And the more that you heal, the better you're going to feel. Go ahead and crawl those hands back up to the hips. Bend the right knee in underneath the left. So left ankle to right knee, left knee to right ankle. Coming into fire log pose. The shins are parallel to the front of the mat. Maybe placing a block or a thickly folded blanket under the top knee for support here. Or option to come into an easy seated position if this is too intense. Wherever you are, on the inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And on the exhale, slowly walking the hands forward to your own degree, hinging at the hips. allowing a nice, gentle stream of breath to move in and out of the nose. And if you're feeling a large amount of tension and tightness, you may want to deepen the breath. Nothing too crazy, just allowing the breath to soften the tension. Working deep into the largest space within the body, the hip joint. And the larger the space, the larger depot of emotions that can sometimes reside here. So just being aware of how and what you're feeling, knowing it's perfectly normal for emotional thoughts and memories to arise. And you know it's not easy. It's not easy to be still. It's not easy to be with discomfort. In fact, most of us, when we feel discomfort, we usually reach for our cell phones. We reach for a distraction. Reach for anything that's going to pull us away from whatever it is that we're experiencing. So to be able to be with an experience that's uncomfortable, to not run away with it, to not fidget, to just breathe through it, and to have the wisdom that this too shall pass. This is all temporary. Those are the teachings that are really going to help you within your daily life. So this is the time to practice. This is the time to train yourself. Nice work, guys. And releasing. Slowly start to make your way back up. And we'll switch sides. So extend the left leg straight out in front of you. That right leg comes up and over, 2 knees in one line. We'll take an inhale, sitting up nice and straight, and folding forward on the exhale. Grabbing onto the shin, the ankle, the foot, just wherever you can here. Finding that edge. Finding the stillness. And just breathing into it. There's nowhere you need to be, and there's nothing you need to be doing. Right now, your only job is to breathe and be. Just breathe and be. Last few breaths here. Then slowly start to climb all the way back up. Bend the left knee in underneath the right, so the right knee on top of left ankle, right ankle on top of the left knee. The shins are parallel to the front of the mat. Coming into fire log on the other side. On an inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And on the exhale, slowly crawling the hands out to your own degree. Using your props however you need to here. As adults, we're really good at gripping to things. We're really good at holding on and accumulating. We're really good at attachment. And it's a lot easier to attach ourselves to something or to someone or to a feeling than it is to release. Releasing is tough. It can be really scary to release and let go at times. So right now, challenging yourself to go up to that edge, to find the release, and to just let go. We're not trying to change ourselves in any way here. We're simply letting go of all that no longer serves us. Shedding the layers so that we can transform and become the best versions of ourselves. Because the best version of yourself resides already within you. It's just about tapping into it. Good, you guys. From here, go ahead and extend both legs out in front of you, maybe giving them a little shake. And then recline all the way back down onto your back. Hug both knees into the chest, maybe rocking from side to side, massaging into the lower back. Extend the arms out like a T and allow the knees to drop over towards the left, coming into a nice, easy reclined twist. The gaze can be upward towards the sky, or maybe it's over to the right. Just using the right shoulder as an anchor. And everything else is working its way away from that anchor, away from that point. Maybe closing down the eyes and just relaxing into it. And releasing, coming back through center. Hug both knees back into the chest. Extend the arms out like a T, and then drop the knees over towards the right, releasing any tension you might be feeling throughout the lower back. Just closing down the eyes and feeling into the twist. Our spines can move in so many directions, and we usually only tend to move them forward and back, which is why yoga is so important. Excellent, guys. From here, release. Hug both knees back into the chest. On an inhale, the forehead curls into the knees, coming into a little ball and giving yourself a little hug of gratitude. And then exhale, releasing all the way down into your final resting pose, Shavasana. The legs extend out in front of you. The toes can splay open to either side of the mat. The shoulders roll down and in. The arms rest gently, palms face up next to the body. There's a slight tuck of the chin so that the neck stays long. Shavasana, also known as corpse pose or dead man's pose. Just allow your body and your mind the time and the space it needs to absorb and integrate all the benefits of today's practice. Relaxing with every inhale and melting into the ground beneath you with every exhale. Option to stay here for as long as you'd like. But if you're ready and willing, just slowly bringing some awareness back into the body. Slow, gentle movements, maybe rolling out the ankles or the wrists. Maybe shifting the head from side to side. And from here, we're going to say that this class is over. I hope you had a beautiful practice and a beautiful rest of the day. Together we say, Namaste.